Are we rolling? Are we live?
We are live.
And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the... Start the timer. Take two. Hey. And we're back. Welcome to the Brothers Game Podcast. It's me,
Hello.
Nikolai.
And Brian.
And it's me, Nikolai.
There's two of you,
Yeah.
huh?
Ooh,
Oh.
spooky. It's a spooky podcast because it's late at night. It's a late night podcast.
The latest.
We had to record late this time, so here we are.
It's almost my bedtime.
Ooh, night night. Uh-oh.
I might fall asleep during the recording.
Brian, you know what tomorrow is?
Your birthday.
Wednesday. Oh, it's also my birthday. What?
What?
Yay.
I may have something for you. We'll see.
Oh, I would hope so. Yep. I'm an old man now.
Yeah.
A real adult. The ripe old age of 26.
Yep.
So watch out.
Yeah,
So that's fun.
me at 33 just sitting here like, yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Brian, it's been a while since we recorded.
It is.
Have you played at least one video game since then?
Technically.
Yes. Awesome. Let me guess. We're going to talk about Pokemon a little bit in this episode.
It's more than likely. I have notes.
Nice.
I came prepared this time because most of the time I just wing it.
I didn't bring anything, but I have many things in my head. So
So lately I just been I went back to the office full time. So no more working from home.
no more us recording in the middle of the day.
Yeah. Or me getting a little bit of extra gaming time in during downtime between meetings and stuff. And I didn't really expect it to have much of an effect on me. I worked at this job for 3 years in the office.
Right. You were used to that.
So, but it turns out 2 years is a long time and you get used to things.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of an adjustment.
Yeah.
Getting used to being back full time, not working from home anymore.
Was the day just sort of over faster? You don't feel like you were able to do so much?
Sort of.
So much fun. I mean,
yeah.
watching videos.
Some days the days drag on, but yeah. But yeah, and for a while there it was just kind of blah. I'd get home and I didn't even have the energy to play a video game, so I'd watch YouTube all night, and not anything specific. Just I'd be scrolling through my recommended and go, "This looks interesting."
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And so that was me for a couple of weeks there.
Sad.
Yeah.
The slump. Yeah.
But
you're alive now.
well, that's I didn't just sit and be blah and watch
that's
YouTube.
good.
I did other
good.
things. So
Yeah. Productive things like play
Watch-
video games.
I watched Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah.
It was the only Star Wars thing I hadn't seen.
I still need to watch that. Yeah.
I watched that. I liked it. It was all right.
I'm behind on stuff. Book of Boba, Moon Knight. I haven't watched any of that yet.
Yeah. And then I did finish Moon Knight. I really enjoyed that. That was actually better than I expected.
I love him as a hero, so I definitely want to watch
Yeah.
that.
And then we saw Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
As sort of an early birthday present almost to me. Yeah, we went and saw Doctor Strange.
So a lot of people didn't like it.
I'm hearing
I saw a lot of negative reviews
negative
about it, and I don't
things.
understand why.
That's crazy to me. Yeah.
Now, it is not the best Marvel movie.
No,
but for me, it was upper
up
middle
there.
of the pack.
Yeah, it's
but
up there.
it was good. And I even went in I even went in kind of being okay, looking for what people were looking at that they didn't like or maybe thought was boring or uninteresting or whatever. And I'm just I don't see it.
Yep, I don't get it.
No, it wasn't perfect, but I haven't seen it. I've never seen a perfect movie, so I don't know what more you want.
Yeah,
it's a Marvel movie.
I'm biased because I love anything multiversal. I think is really interesting. I love the magic users and stuff in general. So having it be Doctor Strange and Wanda sort of at the forefront.
And
is just
now,
I love that
if you
stuff,
hadn't
so.
watched WandaVision before you watched the movie, I
Oh my
totally
gosh,
get that
yeah.
you would be. It wouldn't really even make a lot
Wouldn't
of
make any
sense.
sense.
Frank, you should not watch the movie without having
Absolutely not.
watched WandaVision.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is lore dependent, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these are really just continuations, right? One after the other
Yeah.
of stuff. So, yeah, absolutely.
But of course, I mean, there are people that watched Avengers Endgame without having ever watched an MCU movie before. So
this is popular. It's like, I mean, I guess,
like,
man,
I don't really get that, but
that's
whatever.
like there was a lot of people who played Kingdom Hearts 3 who had
Oh,
never
yeah, who
played
had
a
never
Kingdom
played
Hearts
a Kingdom
game.
Hearts game. Yeah.
I'm like, very interesting choice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, I did play Kingdom Hearts 2 before Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well,
the story would have made a lot more sense if I had
Yeah.
played Kingdom Hearts 1
Yeah.
first, but,
I think a
whatever.
lot of people did that though, actually. Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize how important Chain of Memories was to the story
Hugely.
until
Yeah.
I finally sat through all the cutscenes, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, Kingdom Hearts 2 makes a lot more sense now."
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Especially the Riku stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
Well, and like Naminé seemed to come out of nowhere
Right,
in
just-
Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, who is this girl? Why is she here?
yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some
All right, where do you want to start?
Well, I just wanted to mention some interesting and or weird and or whatever stuff that I have seen either on YouTube or Twitter.
Okay.
So this is the cool stuff Brian found segment of the podcast.
What's popping with pop culture?
No.
Brian's musings?
Super Mario 64 at 60 frames per second.
Yes.
Someone
I know of this.
literally rewrote the code for Super Mario 64, and he did a video where he went into detail about what all the changes he made and all
Yeah.
the stuff he found, because apparently the people coding Super Mario 64 were very new to C programming. And of course the N64 was a brand new console because this was a launch title. And so yeah, there were all sorts of areas that were able to be improved dramatically.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Now that
Makes
said, he
sense.
did need the RAM expansion card just to make
yeah.
any of this work.
Oh,
so
nice. So they pretty much did what
so
they could.
a lot of
with
stuff
what
they
had.
couldn't have done at the time.
Yeah.
But there were a few things, like apparently like every single coin was its own instance of this thing or something. And so
Really?
he just
Wow.
changed it so that they were all like one thing.
Dang. Probably took a way less space that
Yeah.
way.
Uh-huh. And so basically like a lot of it has to do with how the memory is used on the N64
Yeah.
between the CPU and the graphics, and how they have to share the RAM, they have to share the same memory. And so they sometimes
there's so little
kind of
space,
fight
yeah.
over it, basically. And so that can lead to slowdowns. So basically part of the way you make it faster is you just remove those conflicts as much as you can, so that each thing gets to use the full amount of memory
Right.
as often or as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
Very interesting.
on Twitter, I saw, and I'm sure you saw this too, Pokemon Red 2,
Yeah.
a fan project I saw that has some really cool
gorgeous-
designs on it.
Yeah, their sprite art is fantastic.
And they did their own like impression of Route 1 and with like realistic looking like woods and stuff. And yeah, it's some cool
Have you
stuff.
seen Route 2 and 3 also?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I now follow this person,
Yeah.
so I can see all of their updates. They have a lot of weird ideas too, but some of them are really cool.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's very, very interesting. The world of Pokemon ROM hacks is insane
Yes.
and huge.
And
Yeah.
like I talked about Red Plus Plus not too
Right,
long ago,
right.
and that was great.
But this is like they're making a whole new game. Like this is crazy.
And I've seen a few of those where like
Yeah.
they basically make a new Pokemon game.
Yeah. One of the ones I'm very curious about is called Unbound. I don't know
Oh,
if you've
yeah.
heard of that.
Yep.
Very
I've heard of
looks
that one.
very interesting. Yeah.
I saw someone make a Fisher Price video game
Yes.
controller and turned it into a working Xbox
Yeah.
controller.
He
That
played
was that was amazing.
I saw someone playing Elden Ring with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, that was only a matter of time until that happened, right?
I found a couple of videos of the Halo announcer just saying
Oh,
funny
yes.
like memes.
I've seen this as well. No maidens.
he does not look anything like you expect him to.
Nope, just some like grandpa.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's awesome.
so funny.
I saw a tweet about it said something to the effect of summer only lasted from 1998 to 2003, and it showed like 4 video games from that era on beaches. And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of beaches in video games, aren't there?
Yeah, but like not as it feels like not as much anymore.
Yeah. Like,
Like-
there were so many in like 2000.
Yeah, dude, I'm playing
Like,
Sonic Adventure, Mario Sunshine. I'm always on the beach.
Yeah.
There's beaches
Kingdom
everywhere.
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Final
It's all-
Fantasy X.
It's all beaches. Yeah, they were all obsessed with that aesthetic back then, I guess.
Yeah.
I kind of miss it. Yeah.
A little bit.
Very,
yeah.
very
It was-
comforting.
It was brighter.
Yes. Very fun. Yep.
Yeah.
So funny.
And then let's see. I watched. So I've talked about this channel a couple of times. Rasputin.
Yeah.
He has deep dives on specific topics about video games. So I always find his channel really interesting. He had a video about when should the end credits roll, and how much of the game should be left after that. Because he said is with most games, once the end credits roll, he's done.
Yeah.
And he's not going and he's probably not going to get to anything that comes after that.
Right. Doesn't really care about post game, basically.
And but he also understands that in many cases he has missed out on quite a bit of content because a lot of games have a ton of post game stuff. But he says even knowing that, a lot of times he still just can't get himself to do it. He's
Yeah.
just like, oh, I've done it, and then he wants to just move on to the next thing. And
Yep.
so he like discusses the idea of maybe pushing that back and putting some of your what would be post game content before you roll credits.
Yeah.
But then also he understands that like not everybody is going to want to get everything.
Right.
Not everybody's going to want to do everything. And it's like and he talked about Pokemon Legends Arceus
Yeah.
and how you can there's some post game content kind of no matter how much you get done before the credits roll. Even if you complete the Pokedex up until that point, there's still legendaries and stuff to catch after
Yep.
that
true.
happens. And it's like if you make the player complete the Pokedex and get all the legendaries and everything before you roll the credits,
Right.
you could really
This is too
like
much.
get a lot of players to be like, this is too much. I don't want to do
Exactly.
all this.
Yeah.
So
That is the problem.
it's an interesting balance to try to achieve.
Yeah. I think Pokemon is an interesting. People talk about the post game of Pokemon quite a bit, I feel like. And some people say, like, oh, this is my favorite generation of Pokemon because the post game is so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what an insane thing to say. That's not even the game.
Yeah.
So, what your favorite part of the game is not the game?
But you know
Very
what's funny is
interesting.
I feel that way about Gen 2.
Yeah. But do you consider Kanto the post game?
Kinda, yeah.
That depends. There's dispute about that, basically.
So I can't remember. Do the credits roll after you beat the Johto Elite Four?
I have no idea, honestly.
I can't remember.
See, like, I feel like Kanto is not post game. I feel like that's like part of the main story.
Yeah, but also like
I guess
there's
that's
not.
debatable.
I guess the only real clear ending in Kanto is beating the Kanto Elite Four,
Right.
because I feel like fighting Red on Mount Silver is post game,
Yeah, that's a post game thing for sure.
but like there's no clear division between beating the last gym in
Yeah.
Kanto and then going there and doing that.
Yeah, it's possible.
So
So is that too much post game?
yeah, I mean,
Like, that's like a whole other game after the
I know,
main game.
yeah.
That's kind of insane. Yeah. I think I have an annoyance with Pokemon in that everything is at the end of the game.
yeah,
Like-
I agree.
And it's one of my biggest complaints with especially the older games, they've fixed that a little bit with newer games. But like every cool new Pokemon or strong Pokemon is like, okay, cool. Either it's right before Victory Road or it's post game only and after you get the National Dex or whatever.
Yeah,
And that's just insane to me. I'm like, well, what's the point? Like, I'm here to collect fun Pokemon, not to have this crap team up until the Elite Four. Then I can have the team I want.
Right. Well,
That's
and
annoying
and
to
like
me,
and that's
so.
been true of every gen. Like
Yeah.
even Gen 1, especially if you care at all about EVs,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
then you like any Pokemon that isn't before like Silphco is like, why bother having it a part of your main team, because it's going to have so much less EVs than everyone else on your team.
True. Like, I feel like Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus do it the best out of any of the games. Like,
Yeah.
there's just variety
Well,
wise.
yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, Sword and Shield has so many Pokemon you can get in
Yeah.
the wild area.
Like I've
and
mentioned-
and in the what are they called again?
The wild area?
The pink like areas that you go into. Come on.
Pink areas.
Um,
You're talking about the DLC stuff? Or?
no, they're like
okay.
they're called like raids or something.
Oh, yeah. Max raids. Or
Max
whatever.
raids, yes, yeah.
Yes.
There we
okay,
go.
Gotcha.
Between max
Very
raids
true.
and the wild area, you can get a ton of Pokemon.
Like I've mentioned before, I'm sure, I was able to, just by grinding in the very first wild area, I was able to get all of the evolutions, every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Uh-huh.
And before the first gym.
Yeah.
Like literally before the first gym.
Yeah,
And that
like-
is awesome
Yeah.
to me. I thought that was so cool.
Like even Sun and Moon, which is one of my favorite of the newer
Absolutely.
gens. The post game was like, it was a task I wanted to complete. It was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, but it wasn't as good as just playing the game.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the better post games out of most Pokemon games I've played, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, well, what's kind of cool about Sword and Shield is they added this DLC that for me it was post game because I finished the game before the DLC came out.
Right.
But it's not post game. You can do it while you're doing the gym challenge.
Oh yeah.
You can go to the Isle of Armor if after the fourth
Yeah.
gym or whatever, and your rival Avery or Poison Girl, they like scale with how many badges you have level wise.
Oh, interesting. I
don't
didn't know
even know
that
if you knew
actually.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do it anytime.
Yeah.
It's
Of course,
really cool.
You
I
still
think
want to
that's
be like
awesome.
level 70 for Crown Tundra, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's just really cool
But, yeah.
that it's not necessarily post game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find I'm sort of similar to that guy you talked about.
yeah.
That after the main story, my like inspiration to keep playing really dwindles.
Yeah. So, especially with games like Pokemon, I was far more likely to just restart the game than try to do anything post game.
Yeah.
Especially after Gen 2, with any generation after 2.
But that's what's cool about Legends Arceus is
Yeah.
that in the very beginning, I mean, the world opens up quite a bit and you can do a lot right at first.
Mm-hmm. Well-
so restarting is really fun.
Yeah,
Because you just have tons you can do.
someone. So I heard a couple of other people talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus and their experience playing it, and they were talking about how hard the battles get later in the game, which
Yeah, you mentioned that to me. I'm like, wait,
which,
really?
like. So by the time I did anything from the Icelands onward, my Typhlosion was like level 90
Yeah.
because of all the grinding I had to do just to level up other Pokemon to get them to evolve.
Yep.
Everything was a steamroll.
So true. Yeah, I had this hard stop in the Corne Highlands where I was just focusing on the Pokedex
Yeah.
and getting specific Pokemon I wanted. And so by the time I first entered the Alabaster Icelands, I was at least 75 to
Yeah.
80, my entire team.
Yeah.
And so I steamrolled the entire rest
Yeah.
of the
And
game.
I
Yeah.
had probably 9 or 10 Pokemon that were level 70 plus.
Yeah. no problem, like easily without really trying.
Because so I knew that like doing filling out the Pokedex as I went was going to be more fun and easier if I
exactly.
did it that way than if I waited till the very end. Yeah, there's a weird looking bug up there.
I think it's a spider.
Yeah.
It's a spinnerack.
So I noticed once I got to the Alabaster Icelands, I was like, okay, I'm doing too much just regular story progression, and I need to keep focusing on the Pokedex, or I'm just going to wind up beating the game and then having half the Pokedex left to complete. And so
Right.
I stopped doing any
balance.
storyline once I got to the Icelands and just went for the Pokedex. Now, one thing that's nice about doing that, though, is you get the flying ability, and so that makes doing the rest of the
So
Pokedex
much
very
easier.
easy. So
Yeah.
I do recommend getting that far and then
Yeah,
finishing
I
the
did
Pokedex.
quite a bit in the Highlands without flying,
Yeah.
and I did a lot of the Pokedex without
Yeah.
that ability. And so that would have made it much easier, I'm
yeah.
sure. But
And so, yeah, I'm interested to replay it sometime and just focus purely on the story and just see how hard it can get the battles, because one of my complaints actually of the game was that the battles were too easy.
I will say I love that wild Pokemon hit way harder than in normal games.
It was interesting, huh? Like,
Yeah.
depending on your level, especially, there were times when it seemed like a fairly weak Pokemon still hit rather
Yeah.
hard.
I don't know what that like the formula is on that,
Yeah.
but they hit really hard. I think that's really interesting. I kind of liked that. You know, it wasn't like a total pushover every time
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, you remember that, like, I think like level 70 something Garchomp in the Icelands. He almost wiped me once.
Yeah.
I underestimated
Hardcore.
him.
Hardcore. Yeah, it's basically Cynthia's Garchomp that you're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very tough. Because it was an alpha, right, too?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have buffed stats. So
But we did a whole episode on Arceus, so we won't dwell on that too long, but
true.
yeah.
Well, all I will say real quick, speaking of the post game of Gen 2,
Yeah.
I'll let you know how Heart Gold, like how its story goes and when I feel like the end is, because that is what I am playing right now.
Yeah. I did
I've
play
gotten
through
back-
Soul Silver not
Oh yeah, that's
like,
true. Not that long ago.
probably a year ago now, but yeah.
Well, I'm playing through Heart Gold again right now.
Cool.
So,
I mean, I'm still interested to see what you have to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
compared to what we just talked about. So
I saw that a GBA emulator for the Switch got leaked.
yeah. So the source is iffy on that. And from what it looks like, it's like an official Nintendo emulator. But people question why it would be so obvious that it's a Nintendo licensed emulator, because that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it's just iffy on how credible it is.
Yeah.
But I think it's inevitable that they would add that to the Switch Online. So it's really hit or miss whether that's real or not. I really hope it's real.
Yeah.
I would love to have a Game Boy and Advance emulator on there. So I guess we'll just have to see. There wasn't many games that were confirmed for it, but
Yeah.
it's the best hope for getting Mother 3
Yeah.
in English, probably,
Oh, yeah.
as if it's on
I
there.
like that the tweet was like, no, this does not mean that Mother 3 is being localized.
No. I mean, but who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I finally found a high-ish end
That's
video
right.
card
That's right.
for about almost retail.
Amazing.
For under $400,
Crazy.
not including shipping.
Of course.
I found a RTX 3060. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get another chance, so I jumped on it.
Yeah.
And now I have a video card that can actually play modern games at
Yay.
relatively high settings.
Whoop, whoop.
But you know what's funny is as soon as I installed it, I'm like, I don't really have any new high-end
I don't
games.
need this. I don't play
I don't-
video games.
I don't have like
Anyway, time to
Shadow of
play
the Tomb Raider
Pokemon
or
again.
Red Dead Redemption or whatever.
You're not
But
playing Elden Ring on your
No.
PC, yeah.
I did have Age of Empires 4 still installed, and on my old card I could only play it on low. So I tried that game on high, and yeah, I can play it on highest settings, no big deal.
Yeah.
Doesn't even push my video card that much.
You can do
and
really far draw distance in Minecraft.
yeah, and still looks like a 10-year-old game.
Yeah.
Age of Empires 4. So there you go.
Ouch.
I also re-downloaded Warframe because apparently that's one of the most demanding free games on a video card, and I'm like, yeah, this looks good
Yeah.
ish. It's
All right. Well,
it's also very different than when I first played it. It's a completely different game almost.
I would hope so because it was terrible when we first played it.
It's funny. Ben and Kyle were pretty big into it, and I was
know.
just like,
I'm like, I have no interest in this whatsoever.
It turns out moving in a shooter with a keyboard is the most unnatural thing in the world to me. And a controller feels so much more natural.
Yeah, I've only played FPS really in controller. Like I played Minecraft a lot on the PC, and that's about it though.
Just moving with a keyboard feels weird and unintuitive to me.
Yeah.
Especially moving quickly and jumping and like flipping through the air and stuff like that feels very awkward to do on a keyboard. And I'm sure that had I grown up with PC FPS games instead of console FPS games, I'd feel the opposite. But since I didn't,
Yes. Exactly.
having a controller and using both hands to move and jump and such feels way more natural to me.
Yeah, so much easier.
And
to
I
me,
do
too.
understand that everybody says like you get so much more precision with shooting with the mouse.
Yeah.
And like I don't doubt that, but also because of how unnatural the rest of it feels, I'm okay losing a bit of precision for a more natural feeling.
Yeah. We're not playing competitive anyway. It's like,
Oh yeah.
who cares?
There was a time back in like 2006 where I thought maybe I could be like a pro Halo player one day.
Right.
No, I will
mind.
never be that good. I could
Yes.
practice
Exactly.
I could practice. I could make Halo my full-time job.
Yeah.
And I would not be at the professional level. I know where my
Probably
skill
not,
cap
yeah.
is, and it is not that high.
Yeah, probably.
Because back in high school, during summer vacation, I had enough time to put 40 hours a week into Halo.
Very true. The good old days.
Yeah. Man, I miss summer vacation. I miss having three months off and no responsibilities except for house chores.
Yeah. I'll never have that again.
Yeah, me either.
I will always have responsibilities of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, what have you been up to?
Oh, do a little of this, a little of that.
Well, cool. Anyway, that's all for today.
If you pay attention to my Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
as you unfortunately do, so I don't get to surprise you with
Right.
this. I was playing some. I had the motivation, finally,
Right.
to play Shining Pearl again. To trudge my way through Shining Pearl,
Yep.
and
Finish the slog that is Shining Pearl.
I did. so harsh. I got to that Elite Four. Elite Four itself was not too big of a deal.
How hard was Cynthia?
Cynthia was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't lose, but it was very like it was an anime finish.
Oh, nice.
I was down to just my Willow, my Miss Magius, and her Garchomp, and I just got one last Shadow Ball off that finished her off.
Nice.
I was at like half health. All of my other 5 Pokemon were down. So it was a photo finish. Very cool. Very pleased with that.
Yeah.
That part was fun. I will say that
Yeah.
the last Elite Four was fun, and I really liked my final team. So that's always good. After that, I was like, all right, it's Arceus time.
Yeah.
I need to catch Arceus because this is the first time in many, many years you can legitimately get an Arceus in a game that's not Legends Arceus, of course,
Right.
in a normal Pokemon game, basically. And it's like a time limit on the event. Like, this is not going to be around forever.
Yeah.
So I had to get on that. And the only thing I was missing was the national. You have to get the national Pokedex to be able to do it. So I looked at, thankfully in this game, you don't have to catch all 150 that are in the game. You just have to have seen them.
Oh yeah.
So that's
I
much
remember
easier.
that. Yeah.
And so I only had like 5 or 6 Pokemon that I hadn't seen. Mostly it was legendaries.
Yeah.
Unknown, actually. I hadn't really gone into the
Oh yeah.
Alf cave, so I went and caught it an unknown really easily. That was not a big deal. The legendaries, obviously, you have the 3 lake spirits,
Yep.
Dialga, Palkia, obviously.
Regice and stuff, or
No,
was that
they're not included.
Okay.
That's the post game, I think,
Oh, okay.
and not included in the main 150. So yeah, really no big deal. The lake spirits were super easy. I
Yeah.
got very lucky catching them. Obviously Mesprit runs away, I think, and you have to like chase her. But the other 2, Uxie and Azelf, was like 3 Ultra Balls.
Oh,
and I
nice.
caught both of them. So no big deal there. The other Pokemon though that I didn't see was a Prinplup.
Oh.
Not a Piplup,
Yeah.
not an Empoleon,
Uh-huh.
because I don't know if I missed a fight with Dawn or if you just don't fight her in that middle area. But Piplup was Dawn's Pokemon because I started with Turtwig.
Right.
So I had no way of getting a Piplup. It's literally impossible. And this is the first time I think I've played a Pokemon game where you didn't have the game also.
Oh yeah.
So I could not trade with you.
Uh-huh.
I was like, uh-oh. So I had to just wonder trade until I got a Piplup.
Wow.
Thankfully, it didn't take quite as long as it could have. It was 2 or 3 days, I think, of just playing what I could. So wasn't that long. One thing that's really cool about the Wonder Trade thing, though, there's this weird thing where you can like choose your region that you want to like say you're from, but you can choose anywhere in the world.
Right.
So I was like in Russia, and then I was in Japan, and then whatever. As you collect different regions that you've traded with, at like 10, you get like 10 rare candies.
Oh, interesting.
And at 20, you get 20 rare candies.
Huh.
And so like by the time I was done and got a Piplup, I had like 37 rare candies.
Nice. Okay.
So I was like, that's awesome. So all my team was level 80. It was great. And then, so I got my Piplup like 3rd day or something, really quickly evolved that. What's really nice for Dialga, you can just go to the old lady, Cynthia's mom, and she'll show you a picture of Dialga.
Oh yeah.
And that'll count towards that.
Right.
So I got that finally, and I was like, okay, Arceus time. Had to go all the way up the Mount Corday. That was quite a trek. Thankfully, Max Repels make that go a lot quicker.
Yep.
And I decided I am going to shiny hunt Arceus because this is like the first time ever you can get a legitimate shiny Arceus.
Yeah.
And what an epic Pokemon to have, right? Like a
Right.
shiny version of the God Pokemon. Now, in this game, the shiny charm only works for eggs, only helps with egg shinies. So it was a 1 in 4,096 chance.
Yeah.
So it's full odds. And I was ready for the long haul. As you remember from previous episodes, if you've listened to our whole podcast, I tried for over 3,000 resets to get a shiny Rowlet starter in Sun and Moon. And then I gave up because it was just such a nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
But I was ready to do, I feel like my cap was, about 3,000. Like,
Yeah.
I was ready to try for a while. First day, obviously, nothing happened. I only did it like 50 times in a night or something.
Yeah.
Next day, I was actually here. I was working on a menu thing with mom or something. And to take a break, I was just doing the shiny hunting. Thankfully, the resetting is pretty quick in this
Yeah.
game. And at about number 92 out of 4,096. Arceus was this weird yellow color for some reason. And it's that moment where you go, oh, wait, is that real? Wait, is it really happening? Is it really? Am I just seeing that weird? Because it's just like sort of this off-white yellowish color.
Yeah.
And then the shiny sparkles happen. I'm like, yep, there it is. And thankfully I remembered to like hold down my screen capture button on my Switch.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a short video that I posted on my Twitter of the reveal of the shiny Arceus after only 92 resets. And I was smart enough to save my Master Ball for this.
Yeah.
So there was no chance I was going to miss it. And yeah, so I caught a shiny Arceus. And it's actually my first shiny legendary ever also. I've never shiny hunted a legendary before, so.
Cool.
Absolutely amazing. After that, I actually went and hunted down all the plates too. So I have the full catalog of
nice.
plates
So
too.
he can be any type.
Yes. I used, he's level 80 when you get him. And so I used 20 rare candies
Oh, nice.
to make him level 100
Booyah.
because that's when he learns Judgment,
Ah, yes.
which is his signature move
Yep.
that changes with whatever plate you're holding. So, yeah, insanely cool. Level 100 shiny Arceus, totally legit, full odds. So yeah, now I like Shining Pearl. So because it gave me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just insane luck. Absolutely insane. So
Oh,
that was a win for sure.
I forgot about this. I didn't have it in my notes, but I just remembered. Okay, so while I was in this kind of slump, I was like, I want to try and play. I want to play some Halo. So I turn
Halo,
on my
baby.
Xbox One,
Always
and
good.
as usual, it needs to update.
Oh yeah,
Whatever, that's fine.
classic.
I download the like 350 megabyte update or whatever. It takes a little while, but then it downloads. It's fine. And then Master Chief Collection needs another 20 gig update. Again, like
Again.
this is by far like none of the other games I have even come close in terms of size of sheer file size. This game is absolutely
That's
massive.
insane. It's insane.
I gave it its own 500 gig SSD just in case, and
Yep.
it fills up almost half of it.
Yep.
It's absurd.
It is absurd.
And so, like an hour and a half later, when it finished downloading, I played for like 10 minutes and then put the game down.
A fun night of
I
Halo.
was like, man, remember when video games were fun?
Yep.
Remember when you just turned a console on and you just played?
Yep.
Also, like, I've maybe this was just like how I was feeling that day, but that my Xbox One feels like it loads incredibly slowly too.
Oh, really?
Like everything loads really slow. Like I think the console would benefit from an SSD internally. Just
Yeah.
like people have
Series
said,
X
it doesn't
does
really
have it.
make a big difference, but I feel like
Surely
it has
it
to
must,
because
yeah.
it takes so long for every screen to load.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how the Series X is comparatively.
Yeah, it had better be better than
I would
that.
hope it's better. Yeah.
Like my Xbox 360 is faster than that.
Yeah.
And it's ancient.
Yeah. I will say that the Switch really shines in that regard in just how small games are.
It is much snappier than
I mean, it's really impressive.
Also, so while my Xbox One was updating, I booted up my PS4 and installed every update it had, and it took like 15 minutes,
Yeah, like
maybe.
no time at all. Yeah.
Like
Yeesh.
a tiny fraction of what it's like. Ooh, Xbox, you're not looking too
Dude,
hot right
Classic Microsoft.
now. Yeah, right.
Listen.
Yeah,
funny.
and so then just 3 days later, I give it a try again, and the game has another update, and I was like, I disconnected
I'm
my
livid.
Xbox from the network, and I'm like,
I'm just
no
gonna
more
play
updates. You don't get any more updates.
You don't-
when
you
I
don't-
turn you
you don't
on, you
deserve
play
it.
the game. Period. I own you. You don't own me.
You don't deserve it.
You don't get to
That's
tell me when
incredible.
I can play my games.
That's incredible. Yeah. I love it. Love it.
But anyway, so I did play some Halo 2. I
Yeah, how'd that
played
go? Oh yeah, you sort of told me about
I played Cairo Station on Legendary. And so
and got massacred. I'm
well,
gonna guess.
yes, but also there's a room. There's two
There's
hangars.
quite a few rooms in that game.
There's two hangars where the invading Covenant are coming in on these like drop ships, and they come pouring into the room wave after wave.
Mm-hmm.
And
Little tubes.
And that first room was
That's
always
the
like
first
the
tough room.
hardest
Yeah.
thing in like. If you get past this level, the rest of Legendary is very hard but doable.
I mean, Delta.
I mean,
Halo's pretty
until
tough.
you get to Delta Halo. Then
Delta Halo's pretty
you
tough.
deal with Jackal snipers, and then it's a whole other thing. But up until that point, this is like the hardest level. And I almost got through the first room. I killed all the elites and grunts that came from the boarding ship, including the ultras.
Very nice.
And then there's a part where this door explodes by
Yeah.
a sticky nade.
Yep.
And just like 2 or 3 elites
Yeah.
and a few grunts come out. And like I'm hiding behind this crate. And I just like I've stepped too far
And you
one
just-
way, and it just melee attacked me and killed me. So yeah.
Yeah,
And then
well,
and
that's
then of
enough Halo
course
for the night.
I went back all the way back to the beginning of that room again.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
well, never mind. At least I got farther than I've ever gotten in single player.
Oh, really?
I think. So, yeah. Thankfully, I haven't completely lost my edge on Halo.
Because yeah, co-op we got to Delta Halo, right?
Yep.
And then when we gave up Delta Halo, I mean, Halo 2 is notoriously hard
Yeah.
on Legendary.
I've never
Like,
been past Delta Halo on Legendary Halo 2
Yeah.
before. It'd be interesting to just skip that level
Yeah,
and
and
just
just
see if
see
we
it.
could actually beat the rest of the game.
Yeah. Yep. Because I mean, even like Gavin
Mm-hmm.
Free, who is a master of Halo,
Yeah.
like says Halo 2 Legendary is really hard. Like
Yeah.
even he gets it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Have
like
fun.
I think it's easy to think of Halo 1 as harder than Halo 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
Library
sure
and
I
stuff.
believe in some levels it definitely is, but also Legendary Halo 1 is totally doable. Mm-hmm. It's hard for sure, but it's doable. Like I've co-opted it before.
Yeah.
I've never tried to do it alone. I don't know if I could actually beat it on Legendary alone, but
that's the real question, huh?
I can do heroic on any Halo game,
Yeah,
probably,
yeah.
Except maybe 4. I don't know. I played 4 on normal, and I was like, that's good enough for me.
Listen.
Same with 5.
Why would you play for the campaign?
Why would you punish yourself like that? Yeah, I don't know.
I like the multiplayer, but
Yeah,
the campaign, no thanks.
yeah,
Yeah.
or Reach.
Or Reach.
Yeah,
No
I think I
thanks.
played all of those on normal.
I have never played 5, and
Yeah.
I probably won't.
It's not like you're not missing anything.
Yeah.
I don't feel like.
Yeah. From what I've seen, the Infinite multiplayer looks really good, but
Yeah, I'm interested to play it, but I would rather
well, you have a
play
good
it.
graphics card, so you could just
Yeah, I could play it now.
try.
I would rather play it on console, but I could play it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can even use a controller
Yeah,
on
I
my
think you
PC.
can. So
But yeah.
might be worth a shot. Yeah. So what else am I playing? You may ask.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned, I started Soul Silver, Heart Gold, not Soul Silver. I would never do that. Heart Gold, always. Why are you asking so many questions?
I don't know what your problem with Soul Silver is, but okay.
I like Ho-Oh, okay?
Yeah, I know. Weirdo.
Anyway, Heart Gold, right? Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
A totally legit copy, too.
Yeah.
Totally real. I totally paid like $250 for it. That is how much it is. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. But that's not how much you paid
No,
for
I
yours,
didn't.
right? Yeah.
It's not a legitimate copy.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
My Pokemon White is legitimate though. Anyway, it's like $95. Okay, moving on. Don't tell anybody I got that. It was a long time ago. Where was I?
You're playing Heart Gold, yes.
I thought I said Soul Silver. So I was inspired to play through it again. One, just because I like Gen 2 a lot. And the last time I played Heart Gold, I got bored because I was using a really boring team.
Uh-huh.
I think is why. Like, I chose very basic Pokemon and not ones just for fun. So this time I'm just picking ones for fun.
Okay.
I started with Chikorita, who I like a lot.
Oh yeah. I like Chikorita.
I named him Foley.
Okay.
It's like foliage.
Ah, I see.
Very cute. And I think he's very sleepy. Is my headcanon about him. Anyway, he's adorable. I'm planning on getting a lantern, a Chinchou and a lantern.
Oh, okay.
I actually like them a lot.
Interesting. All
I've
right.
never really used them. I'm gonna get a Girafarig.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, heck yeah. Whose special attack's actually decent. So yeah. I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be fun. I'm not 100% sure on the other ones yet. I was gonna use an Evolution, but the biggest problem about Gen 2 is that there are no stones anywhere.
Oh yeah.
You cannot get evolution stones, like period. Like they're post game to get a water stone. I'm not like literally. Look it up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I didn't remember that, I guess. Anyway, that sucks. I don't know if I'll use a
That's because they want you to use Espeon or Umbreon.
Yeah, exactly. I think that
and
is
just
why.
get your friendship up.
So I don't think I'm gonna use them, but I might do a Crobat. So I think I'm gonna get maybe a Zubat. Because I warmed up to Crobat in Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
I've used him a lot, and I actually really like a Crobat now. So.
Well, I mean, stats wise, he's great.
I mean, he's fantastic, yeah. So yeah, that's my team so far, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I was inspired because I've been watching these YouTube videos of a very popular Pokemon YouTuber called Small Ant. I don't know if you've heard of him a lot at all. He's also a speedrunner of like Mario Odyssey, sharpening pencils. He has the world record in sharpening a pencil. No, really.
Wow.
Stuff like that. He's great. He's very funny. And he does challenge runs of Pokemon, basically. The first one I watched was, can I beat Pokemon? Which game was it? Was it Platinum, maybe? One of the ones like that. Maybe Platinum. He wanted to beat it without taking any damage. Like, period.
I don't even know how to do that.
Exactly. Well, he basically had to grind until he could one-shot every Pokemon he came across.
I mean, there is a
Is essentially what he
in Gen
did.
1 I do often get to the point where I can one-shot
Yeah.
every Pokemon, but that's after a lot of grinding against Pokemon that can hurt me.
Yeah.
So
He gave himself a safety net where he could only save the game after a gym battle. So if before the gym battle, he takes a single hit of damage, he resets.
wow.
And so he has to start from the last gym, basically, if he takes damage. And he lost a lot of time doing that. Like, so one time he put a Pokemon in the daycare, and then he was using an emulator, so he was okay to speed things up, because otherwise it would have taken, a million years.
Right.
And so he took a million steps, literally, to get a Pokemon to level 100, which took even sped up like 8 hours or something, like a ton of time. And then like in the next battle, he got hit with like a quick attack.
Oh, dude.
And had to and did it again.
Oh,
reset
wow.
and did everything
man.
again.
I do not
Like,
have that kind of patience.
Yeah, that's what he's known for, is being patient.
Yeah.
He does not care.
That's the thing.
He'll
is
do it.
To do these kinds of things, you have to have
Exactly.
inhuman patience.
It's incredible. So, very impressive and very interesting to watch, because you learn a lot about Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would
imagine
recommend
so.
some of these. I'm sure you'd really enjoy them. The other one was beating Pokemon Heart Gold, but you can only use shinies. So there was a lot of resetting the game. So it was first, well, you got to have a shiny starter. So thankfully in Heart Gold, and this is one of the reasons he chose Heart Gold for this, was that when you're picking your starter, you look at all three of them, and it'll show if it's shiny or not. You don't have to wait till you actually have it to see if it's shiny.
That's good.
So he got 3 chances basically every time, and he just got to check real quick. He got I'm pretty sure Totodile was shiny after, thousands of resets.
Yeah.
Because in Heart Gold, it's 1 in 8,000, not 1 in 4,000.
Oh, wow.
They lowered it in like X and Y or something. So maybe Sun and Moon. But so he was working with even higher odds. The hardest one, it was like his 4th Pokemon, and chat wanted to make him get an Electrode. And Electrode's blue. It's a beautiful shiny. After 13,000 resets,
Crap.
he was paying too close of attention to chat and ran away from
No. Oh, no.
after 13,000 resets.
Oh.
So you know what he did? With his unlimited patience? He did about 13,000 more
Oh, wow.
and did get it that time. He still got it.
Oh, man.
It took so long, obviously. But after that, his luck was insane. He got like 2 other shinies after less than 100. Like,
nice.
His luck was insane. And Ho-Oh, he got a shiny Ho-Oh in like 5 tries or something. Like insane. So like overall, his odds were like insanely good despite the Electrode.
That kind of thing makes me wonder, like, how often have I done something in a game multiple thousands of times?
Right.
There are certain actions for sure. Like how many, I mean, especially if you just drill down to how many times have I tapped the analog stick.
Yeah.
Obviously
Yeah,
that's going to be in the probably
the A
tens of
button.
thousands.
Yeah.
How many times have you hit the A button? But like, maybe how many times I've done something in a game.
Yeah. How many
Like,
times have you rested at the Pokemon Center
Yeah.
in your entire life?
And that's probably in the thousands for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
obviously,
I'm always curious of all these stats of my life. Yeah.
how many times have I pulled the trigger in Halo?
Right. How many bullets have you fired in Halo?
Yeah.
Yep. Very interesting. So yeah, I think it was just looking at the sprites and everything from Heart Gold, watching that video. I was like, I really need to give Heart Gold another shot. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Soul Silver was fun to play. Because of how grand of a game Gold and Silver were.
Yeah. It's
I
really huge.
feel that would be a very cool remake to do again. I understand that there is Heart Gold Soul Silver is already a remake, but Kanto got 2 remakes.
Yeah.
So
Either a Let's Go or I think even better would be Legends Celebi.
yes,
I think that would
Legend
just be,
Celebi would be so cool.
would be so good. Yeah.
Especially if
I'd
you
be
could do
so
Johto
happy.
and Kanto.
Yes, if it had both.
I mean, even if it was only Johto, that would still be really
Yeah,
cool.
but
But
if
if
it
you could
had
do
both-
both, oh man.
I mean, that would be like instantly my favorite Pokemon game probably because I already like Gen 2 a lot. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
So just a couple of days ago, I was like, all right, there's one game that never fails. One game that
The MVP.
I will always
the GOAT
enjoy.
of games.
Paper Mario.
Paper Mario 64, baby.
And like we have been giving Pokemon too much attention on
Yeah.
this podcast. No,
Go
it's time.
away,
It's time for the
Pokemon.
star to come back. It's
Paper Mario, baby.
So I'm doing a 3 BP run
Oh yes, I love
Because-
3 BP runs.
because I am
So fun.
extremely dependent on badges, as
all
you well
all
know.
you do is BP level ups. I know
Yes.
it's crazy.
Getting 30 BP is way more important to me than getting anything else.
Yup.
10 HP, it's easy. That's like
Yeah.
not even a challenge run. That's what I do
That's
normally.
normal. Yeah.
My HP is
BP?
probably is probably 15 when I fight Final Bowser. Like,
Yep.
but BP
I feel that.
that needs to be 30 right away. So yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. Deciding which badges get to be part of that 3.
Yeah. I mean that's a really small number of things.
Because right now the choice is easy: power jump and close call. But
Yep.
yeah,
But when you get that first damage dodge, are you gonna use it? Because that's all you'll have.
probably not. Probably not. You're going to use Dodge Master, even though that's often like my most important badge.
Yep. You gotta get.
I
good
just
at
got to
that
get
timing.
better at the action.
You just gotta get good, dude.
So that made me wonder, like, what if you did a run where you said no Dodge Master and all or nothing badge?
Heck yeah.
Like, if you don't
The
get the
challenge
action
run.
command,
The
you're
challenge
screwed.
Yep. Oh, definitely. Be very fun.
Yeah. And you know what? I am enjoying myself because it's the perfect game.
It's the best game ever. Yeah. And it's different. It's like
It's not
making,
Pokemon.
and well, you're making a new challenge for
Well, that
yourself
too.
too. And that makes it a lot
Yeah.
more interesting. Yeah. Last time I played, which I want to play again, I think I'll play that same file. I was trying to play differently than I usually do.
Yeah.
Just switch it up somehow. But especially like the order of things I do. So like after completing the Booze Mansion, I'm gonna go back to Toad Town and do a sewer thing instead of
yeah.
going straight to Gusty Gulch. Just stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Just totally switching it up.
So yeah, like I remember one time I went back to Toad Town as soon as I got the boots.
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
boots.
Why not? Just
Before
go
I
straight to the
completed
sewer.
that, and especially
You can do
because
that crazy.
if you go to Mario's house and you go downstairs, you can read
Luigi's diary.
read Luigi's
catch
diary.
him doing it.
Yeah, you can catch him.
Yeah,
in the
that's
act.
right. That's right. That's so funny.
I didn't know that until I
Yep.
did that.
Yep.
So that was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I need to get back into that. I still have that Banjo-Kazooie playthrough too
Yeah.
that I was doing. I'm almost done with that. I'll finish that soon and then probably go back to Paper Mario.
So you know what would be fun is I feel like Goombario always winds up being my least used party member.
Yeah.
In the whole game.
That's
It'd
what's
be,
part of mine. Use Goombario more.
use Goombario as much as possible. Just
Why
use
not?
him constantly.
He's not bad.
So there's a few things that he's really good at.
Mm-hmm.
Hitting Koopas to make them like be
Yes.
dazed.
Well, because he dazes them and gets a hit on him. Like, it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
And then also, he's one of the best against any boss that has no defense. Mm-hmm. Because
Totally
of
makes sense.
you can charge and then head bonk, and he's even got multi bonk. So if you're really good at the action command, you can do like 30 damage a turn
Exactly.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Between Mario's power bounce and his multi bonk,
Yeah.
you can make it work.
Yeah.
Like there's weird RNG and certain caps that the game puts on those that are secret basically.
Yeah.
But you could really get some huge
Which
damage
I always
with
suspected,
those.
but I also
it's
know that
it's
I'm
100% true.
not perfect at the action command either. So,
But it
yeah.
is 100% true. There's caps in there. So
yeah.
I've seen in-depth videos about it.
Yeah,
so
but like even with caps like that in place, the amount of damage you're able to do per turn
can
is
be
ridiculous.
yeah, there's like strats to defeat like Huff and Puff in like 3 turns.
Yeah.
Which I just didn't think was possible.
Yeah.
But it's just like supercharge and then this and then it's crazy. Very cool. Very cool.
I remember, I think the most damage I've done in one move was 13,
Yeah. Nice.
and that was a supercharge with Mega Jump.
Got to do that for the Amazy Daisies, right?
Yeah, right.
I should do that too. Like grind on Amazy Daisies and try to get max level in Flower Fields. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
I've never
gotten
hit max level in the game.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
It's just
remember.
never necessary. So
I remember one time I had, I think like 30 health. I felt like I was just an unstoppable tank.
that's
like,
just normal for me. I always
Oh.
go high HP. So
I max out at 20 generally.
Yeah.
And just pour everything into
I
FP.
really like having HP in games.
Yeah.
That's just a typical thing for me. I love having
Whereas
a huge health
in
bar.
Thousand Year Door, I think I had 50 plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes yeah. It's a very different meta in that
Yeah.
game, so
Very different.
makes sense.
But yeah, I bet in this 3BP run, I'm going to have a lot of HP.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because you have to, because you're gonna level up and you got to put it somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny in RPGs. Most of them, I want to have the longest health bar possible.
Yeah.
It's just a safety net. I think.
Oh, yeah. I saw like a tweet about someone saying, I love it when my health bar like
Fills up the screen.
Just fills up the screen.
Yeah. I saw that too. He
Yeah.
was like screaming about it. Yeah. Yes, that's pretty much me.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, it's scripted.
Yeah, I love
scripted.
that.
It's scripted though. It's very specific times that you
Oh,
get
yeah.
a maximum health increase
Right.
after certain bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
But I get so hyped every time
Yeah.
it says
I
maximum
love
HP
how it
increase.
wraps around his
Yeah.
picture and then just stretches off
Like,
to the side of the screen.
"Yes,
Yeah.
more health. Yeah. I always got very hyped when that happened.
And then Sephiroth with his 30 health bars.
Yeah.
That was one of the earliest games that I remember playing where the idea of having multiple health bars. Like usually it was just their health bar either got really, really big or it was the same physical size and just the number was huge.
Right.
But this time it was like, no, they have
just has-
multiple health bars.
Yep.
And Sephiroth had 30.
You just have to get to the point where a combo takes out 2 of his health bars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's like even I could take it. Like I was terrible at fighting him. Like he curb stomped me, but even I could take out one of his health bars because actually each single one didn't
Yeah.
have a ton. It's just that he
But
had
it's
30 of them.
intimidating. It's very intimidating. It's like, oh, and his sword is 30 feet long.
It's
So,
funny. Other than the original Final Fantasy VII game, he's been pretty intimidating in every game I've fought him in.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the original,
It's very cool.
Unless you like were super low level when you got to him and just didn't grind at all, then you're probably going to be over prepared to
yeah.
fight him.
When I the first time I beat FF7, I was level 99. Everyone was level 99 because I was scared. And so I just grinded to 99.
After 100 hours, I was nowhere near level 99. But I still did 9999 damage with every hit, so
Nice.
it didn't matter.
That's good. That's good. Well, yeah, I went like the extra mile. I got like the Knights of the Round. And
I was going to,
Yeah, I
and
did
I
all
just
that
didn't
crap.
have the patience. I
Yeah.
got like
I don't know if I'd ever do it again. So.
I got like a black chocobo, so I was like one step
Oh,
away
it's
from the
close,
gold
yeah.
chocobo, and then I just
I feel like black's like the hard one though. I feel like
no, I
once you
know,
get black,
and like
yeah.
it was a pain, but I feel like I think what happened is I got the black chocobo after all the effort it takes to
Yeah.
get it, and I'm just like, I can't do this
spent,
anymore,
yeah.
and so I went and beat the game.
That's like when I was playing Yellow, and I grinded for a Porygon,
Oh yeah,
which is 900
yes,
9,999.
yes, it is.
But I didn't have the money to just buy the coins, so I actually played the slots
Oh wow,
to get the Porygon,
wow.
and I did it. Eventually, I actually got it, and then I don't think I ever picked up that again.
Yeah.
Like I was just done.
So I've only had a Porygon in Gen 1 once.
Yeah.
And it's the
What a
one time
nightmare.
I bought
Yeah.
it. And thankfully it was in blue, which
Right,
it's-
7,500, I think.
Yeah, it's like it's significantly
Significantly
cheaper.
lower, yeah.
And I still remember I had way more than enough money, but you can only buy like 50
Yeah. In Gen 1, yeah, very,
coins at
very
a time.
few at a time.
And so I remember I was at our house and I was sitting on the stairs and I was just buying coins.
For a kid, it feels like a day has passed.
It basically took all day.
Yeah.
I easily put in 1,000 A button presses.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Probably more.
Yep, that's great. So yeah, I would recommend, by the way, watching some of those
Yeah.
small ant videos. You will definitely enjoy them. So
Did he do a video where he was going to try and play the game with only Magikarp or something?
probably,
I feel like I saw
I would
a video
assume-
like that in my recommended
yeah.
somewhere.
I assume he's done something like that.
Yeah.
I've watched a few others now. Some really good randomizer ones where his team is just random every battle,
Yeah.
every single battle.
Oh,
he has
every battle?
a
Wow.
random team.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Very fun. And then he's done ones where he did one where he couldn't do any damage.
Oh.
Can you beat Pokemon without dealing damage?
Oh yeah, I think I saw this in my recommended at
Yeah.
one point.
The caveat is you can't deal like physical damage, as in like you can still poison and leech seed and stuff, but you
okay.
can't like do anything else. So it was poison, leech seed, destiny bond, curse, stuff like that. So, but he did beat the game just using
Wow.
those. So, very impressive. Yeah. What a madman.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does it because he has the patience to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Because no thanks. Gosh, there was one other I'm trying to think of that was also really cool. Oh yeah. He beat the game, but every Pokemon but his has Wonder Guard. So he has to deal super effective damage to do anything
Oh wow.
to any Pokemon in the entire game.
Wow.
So that was also very entertaining. By the end, his team had quite the array of moves
Yeah, I'll bet.
to cover everything.
It's funny though. His final team probably looked a lot like what most of my
It
teams
was
look
just a
like.
solid team, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the one Shroomish that was in there, but that was just it was like a level 27 Shroomish was there to the end. he had Leech Seed. It's very useful. It goes through Wonder Guard.
Oh
so.
wow. There you go.
Yep. I think it was Emerald he was playing, or maybe Ruby, but it was Gen 3.
So what's interesting is I've never played Crystal and I've never played Emerald. Mm-hmm. I guess technically I've never played Ruby either, but like I haven't played.
You've only played the Omega or Alpha Sapphire?
I've played Alpha Sapphire and regular Sapphire,
Oh,
but I
okay,
haven't played Ruby. I haven't played Crystal or Emerald. I haven't played regular Pearl or
Platinum. No.
or Platinum. I haven't played Brilliant Diamond or Shining Diamond. I always forget which
Brilliant
one is
Diamond.
Shining and which one's Brilliant.
Brilliant
but anyway,
Diamond.
yeah, I haven't played Brilliant Diamond. I haven't played Pokemon X.
Oh, right. You have Y. Yeah. I have X.
I haven't played Pokemon Sun.
Quite a bit of Pokemon games you haven't played.
I haven't played Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon or Black 2 or White 2.
I'm playing Ultra Moon.
I haven't played
I have that.
Pokemon Shield. But yeah,
Right.
I've played every other Pokemon game.
So there you have it. A list of games he hasn't played.
I don't know.
It is interesting that I haven't played, like, because Emerald and Platinum, people love
Yeah,
those,
I was going
like,
to
third
the point I was
games.
trying to make was I hadn't
Yeah.
played the third
Yeah.
of any, except for Gen 1. I hadn't played the third of any of the generations.
Yeah. I think it'd be really nice to have, like, an Emerald cartridge.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, but those are very expensive.
I feel like when you play Alpha Sapphire, you kind of get a lot of the Emerald
Yeah,
stuff
you do. You
because of like
It's just nice to have the
with
original,
that
too,
girl
but-
with the that gets
Yeah, Zinnia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
The Rayquaza girl.
Yeah.
The psycho lady.
Yeah.
Really cool cards from Evolving Skies, anyway.
No.
I think the White 2 is the game I want the most for Pokemon, because I have basically a game from every generation
Yeah.
besides that. I do not have, like, I have White, but I've heard such good things about White 2.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I really want to.
From everything I read, it didn't look different enough from Black
Yeah.
and White for me.
Well, I think it's cool
I
'cause
know
it's actually
there's
like
a lot of differences, but
It's cool because it's like actually a sequel.
yeah.
Like, your rival or friends in the game in White are like older and main characters still in White 2. Like, Bianca is like the professor now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's really cool. Like, I like that, the idea of that sort of. So, and I like the spread of Pokemon in Black 2 also. So,
Yeah.
or I mean White 2. I would pick White, but I almost always pick the
Yeah.
Pokemon game. Almost always.
Did you play Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon?
I have Ultra Moon, and I've played through like half of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's been really fun, actually, because I had a really fun team. I probably mentioned it on the podcast before.
I
but
think you did, but
I was going very like ghost heavy,
yeah.
like ghost and flying.
Yeah, I'm starting to remember that. Yeah.
Really enjoyable. I'll get back to that probably eventually,
Eventually,
maybe someday.
I have a lot of half-finished games too. So.
I know it's tough, but Heart Gold's the one right now. So
I still haven't finished Mass Effect. So
oh right, yeah, I forgot you were even playing that.
yeah.
Quick update also, the new Animal Crossing Island is going very well. Really enjoying.
I saw all of it.
I'm still very glad I reset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to post a lot on Twitter about it. So if you want to check that out, I'm at Nikolai_def, and you can find me through the Brothers Game Twitter account. Speaking of, hey, please go follow the Brothers Game on Twitter. It's so cool. We tweet things sometimes, and you can follow us too on our personal accounts. You can go to @TheBrothersGPod on Twitter, and you can talk to us. Your favorite guys.
Yeah. You can also check us
Forget
out,
about it.
on Reddit on r/Brothers Game Podcast.
Whoa! Whoa!
Wow.
Do you guys like my new pop filter? Do I sound better? I have 2 pop filters now
He's got double filters.
because I'm very poppy.
He's a little poppy boy.
I got a poppy voice. Well, we're at time.
All right.
We're good.
See you guys.
I'm going to bed.
Me too. Good night.